probably preparing for the men's game because you not just won't be here at this point. I wish I was making that up.
Bowling Green and Northern Illinois set the final day of the regular season here from Cochrane Stadium. A lot to be determined yet, but one thing that we already know is Bowling Green has a bye through the quarterfinal round.
Mike, you do know that all you got to do is say the magic word and I'll be here.
There's 2 of them up here.
What? Oh, crap, I'm on the mic now. Oh, hello, everyone. BGSU Falcons head coach Jimmy Walker, second the MAC.
midfield, a senior from Traverse City, Michigan, number 7, Maya Dean. Senior midfielder from Columbus, Ohio, number 8, Katie Huff. And forward, a sophomore from White House, Ohio, number 9, Grace Gardner. Senior midfielder from College, Michigan, number 10, Jaden Rogerio. Freshman defender from Worcester, Ohio, number 14, Christy Francis. Freshman defender from Plainfield, Illinois, number 22, Taylor Green. Senior defender from Rochester Hills, Michigan, number 23, Lexi Sermon. Senior midfielder from Sylvania, Ohio, number 25, Mackenzie Orphan. And a former senior from Toledo, Ohio, number 32, Ellen Bull. Director of Soccer Operations, Bernie Thompson. Assistant coaches, Olivia Thompson, Scott Ritzler, Allison Chesterfield, and in its fourth season, the Georgia Browns is head coach Jimmy Walker. Fans at this time, we'd ask that everybody please rise as the director takes to the flag at the north end of the stadium as we honor America. And we will also serve those who are serving and those who will be serving in our armed forces with the singing of our national anthem by BGSU engineer Bruce Westover.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare almost bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Dave, I apologize for saying stupid things when you were just getting ready to announce our team.
Yeah, you trigger.
I'd like to say it won't happen again, but we know it will.
Well, we've reached the final day of the Mid-American Conference regular season. Bowling Green and Northern Illinois set to go here on the last day. There's been a lot determined already, Lucas, but a lot to still be determined here on the last day, which is always a crazy day in conference play.
This is my first time experiencing the last day of MAC play for women's soccer, and it's going to be an honor to call on this game with you, Brandon, because they have a chance. Bowling Green has a chance. With a win and a Western Michigan loss or tie against Toledo, they win the MAC regular season championship.
So let's get in real quick to the breakdown of games on the last day. Western Michigan in the 1 spot currently. They play Toledo in the 7, who Toledo has to win to make it into the tournament. So you know the Rockets are going to be giving it their all on the road in Kalamazoo. And then as far as the 2 spot, that's where Bowling Green sits right now. They have at least a 2 locked up. They can rise, they cannot fall. They'll play Northern Illinois in the 3 spot. Northern Illinois, they can't rise, but they can fall. It's exactly the opposite for these 2 teams. So a lot at stake because Northern Illinois, although they won't have a quarterfinal bye, they'd love to host at their place.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we're going to keep the viewers informed, all broadcasts about the games going around, especially the Western Michigan and Toledo game. But for Northern Illinois, Brandon, let's just talk about this team real quick. They've won 6 of their last 7 games, and that only loss came against Buffalo. That was a 2-0 loss on October 12th. They're coming off back-to-back victories against Ball State and Central Michigan. This team has been very streaky this year. They went on a big losing streak to start the season, winning 6 of the last 7. This is going to be a difficult test for the Falcons.
And for Bowling Green, 2 wins in a row coming into this match. A big 5-1 victory over Central Michigan. That was one of the largest Mid-American Conference margins of victory throughout conference play this season. And then you had a win on the road at Ball State that came late game fashion. Dramatics, courtesy of Bryn Gardner.
Yep, and speaking of Bryn Gardner, definitely the player for this Falcons team that's going to need to step up if BG is going to want to get the win here today. 6 goals, 4 assists on the season. 5 goals and 4 assists have all came in Mid-American Conference play. Another player I think we should watch out for Bowling Green is Ellie Poole. She also has 4 goals and 5 assists on the season. 3 goals and 4 assists in MAC play.
2 other games worth note before we get underway here. Kent State in the 5 right now. They'll play Buffalo in the 6 spot. And then Ball State takes on Central Michigan as well. So Ball State currently sits in the 4. Here's a throw for the Huskies as they look to move upfield quick. Forward on the outside, Franson watches it go out of play. And it will be a goal kick for the starting goalkeeper for Bowling Green today, and that's Madison Vukas.
I think also for a note, Brandon, no Isabel Gilmore today for this Falcons team, but Emily Garner, who was named National Team of the Week this past week, has played the most minutes on this Falcons team with 1,211.
So Vukas sends it away. Serwin there for Bowling Green, tries to get it to Ortman. It's knocked away. The Huskies able to get it back. Here's Gardner coming back defensively to cut off the ball there as it was intended for Leah Grunigal. Ball bounding over to the far side of the field. Huskies trying to work forward. Taylor Green is there. Taylor Green's another player for Bowling Green that in her freshman season, she has really stepped up, been asked a lot of in the later portions of this regular season, and she has risen to the occasion for the Falcons.
So many freshmen on this Bowling Green team have gotten a lot of meaningful minutes this year. She's been one of the few that's been a consistent starter, definitely won a starting job when they entered conference play, and I mean, she's been fantastic on that back line for Bowling Green, especially without Gilmore this afternoon. She's definitely going to be stepped up.
So Vukas again low on the ground. Ortman had the first touch. Serwin back to Ortman. Want to go to the outside. Pass Poole, it bounds into the box to the feet of Sadie McGill.
And McGill has only allowed 15 goals on this season. That's the second least amount in the MAC, and she's made a total of 60 saves on the year as well. So it's been a good season for the redshirt senior.
McGill will send it away. Back out across midfield. Falcons win the 50-50. Northern Illinois will track it out of play and earn themselves a throw. Delgado tries to play it back toward the middle of the field. Franson there for the Falcons. Backline to backline. Poole takes it back away. Back in the direction of Green now. Serwin over the top. Nobody on the end of it. Out of play. Northern will have another throw. Very deep in attacking territory. Abby McHugh going to fulfill the throw-in duties. Down toward the corner. Jostling around, it will be another throw. Green gets to it first, now Franson. Katie Cox, now Maya Dean. Rolls out of play off of Northern Illinois. Franson in the air. Gardner tries to play it to Dean. Backline able to step up for Northern Illinois. There's Jaden Frigerio. Been in and out of the starting lineup multiple times for Bowling Green this season.
Yep, getting the start over Christy Erdman. Pretty much the only change for this Falcons team after that 2-1 win over Ball State, where Gardner scored that goal with just 20 seconds left to play. They gave him that 2-1 win.
A high throw in. Tyra King goes to the ground. I believe that was Frigerio. Frigerio and Emily Gardner were both in the area. And how about Emily Gardner? A big last week for Gardner. 2 National Team of the Week nominations for Gardner. And Emily Gardner, a player for Bowling Green that has had to wait for her time. Into the box. It goes past and out of play. But Northern Illinois taking the pressure to Bowling Green early.
Yeah, and Tyra King was the target on that set piece, and she's going to be a target on a lot of those set piece opportunities for the Huskies this afternoon.
And so an update right away from Kalamazoo. The Midnight Blue and Gold Toledo Rockets get on the board first over the Western Michigan Broncos, and that's big.
And that's huge, and that's what the Falcons need, a tie or a win for Toledo, and a win here this afternoon, and they're MAC regular season champions, but Falcons got to do their job now.
But of course, there is still 85 minutes left remaining in the match. We saw Buffalo score against Western Michigan first just last game on Sunday.
I mean, we saw this NIU team. Both these teams coming off last-second victories against Ball State the past week or so. NIU scored at the death to give them that win over Ball State. Falcons, like we just mentioned a couple minutes ago, coming off that 2-1 win over the Cardinals, and anything can happen.
Out of play off of Bowling Green.
That was a nice little move there from Delgado.
Here's a throw in from Grunagel. And they'll say another throw in for Northern Illinois. Throw in from Grunagel. Tyra King battling for it. And they're going to say it was last touched by King. Frigerio the throw, looking for Serwin. And they're going to say it was off the head of Isabel Struble. Ortman trying to play it forward. Garner there along the side. Again, out off of NIU. Middle of the field. Zipsy going to work. Got rid of the ball. Backwards, Aubrey Robertson. Franson, now Katie Cox. Here's Dean on the outside. Left side of the formation for Bowling Green, cutting back toward the middle. There's a pass to Gardner. Frigerio. Taken away by King. King making the run forward into the box, and Vukas will go out to it.
Yeah, in the end, not the cross she wanted, but that's just really good pressure there from Tyra King, just picking that one off for Jerio, and she's going to be the danger man for this Huskies team, and leads the team to 3 goals on the year, and her relentlessness and the pressuring and her knack for scoring goals. I mean, she's definitely the best attacker on this NIU team.
Middle of the field, Serwin gives it to Katie Cox. Outside, Franson to the ball. Christy Franson back to Katie Cox. McHugh in there once again. Bowling Green gets it back. Here's Poole finding Serwin. Serwin moving back toward the middle, pass across, finds Gardner. McGill, one save, still loose in the box. Poole making a run for it, and a foul called against Bowling Green.
Well, best opportunity for the Falcons so far this game. Good pass inside to find Gardner. She did well to control that, got that shot on target. Good save from McGill. It was spilled it, but Serwin, she kind of just came a little bit late there on that foul. I'll take a look at it again. Serwin, it's a fantastic ball to find Gardner. Good stop from McGill, and then a little bit after that, Serwin. Just a foul in the box as she was trying to rush the net to put home the rebound.
Throw in here. Ten minutes gone by, nearly, here in the first half. Off of Gardner, out of play. The Huskies will throw once again. Ball rolls out of play this time. It will be a throw for Bowling Green. Ball back on the ground for Northern Illinois. Comes to Frigerio right at the top of the 18. Sends it back out. Grunagol was underneath of it. Foul called against Northern Illinois' Struble. So Emily Gardner gets a free kick here. Played forward off the head of Serwin. Now Dean goes outside. Bryn Gardner there. Gardner tripped up, got tangled up in the footing of Sophia White.
It's been kind of a cagey first 10 minutes or so in this first half. You're starting to see both offenses kind of opened up. Falcons definitely had the best chance so far this game, and now are finally getting some consistent opportunities in the attack.
Off of Serwin, it goes out of play. Ortman has it on the ground, looking forward. Taking away by Grunagol again. There's Ortman. Back to Dean up top. Dean into the box. Looking for an opening to try to get it back toward the middle. Katie Cox will swing it to Poole in the middle. Goes back outside. Not sure what Poole was thinking on the pass there. Evidently saw a lane, but no teammate at the end of it. McGill plays it short this time. Robertson. Ortman leaps to it. It goes on a play into the Bowling Green coaching staff. How about the weather? That's something we haven't talked about here for this last game. Mid-70s for the final regular season match of the year.
Yeah, it's been a good week for Bowling Green weather for sure, especially for late October. And it's pretty warm. So, I mean, I know the last time you called a game, it was raining and probably about 40 degrees for that Central Michigan game.
Yeah.
So it's about the opposite today.
Franson on the far side, trying to bring it back forward for Bowling Green. It ends up out of play. Serwin on the ground to Poole. Sent forward. Got by Gardner just enough to allow White to get it. Now Katie Cox back over to Gardner.
Ooh,
off of White and back out of play.
That was a good close down there from White. And it looks like another ball's rolled onto the field.
Frigerio goes into Ortman. Ortman into the box, right at McGill, who makes the save. The leaping save made with the right hand.
I think she was caught in a line between a cross and a shot. It ended up being kind of a schross, but It was a good save by McGill once again, and Falcons definitely finding a rhythm in the past 5 minutes or so. A couple good opportunities on goal.
McGill skies this one high in the air and makes it across midfield. Serwin was the first one to it once again. It comes out into some open space where it's picked up by Edith Delgado. Here's a pass into the box. Off the left foot, Vukas makes the save. And it was a good look there from Struble.
Yeah, it was a good pass to find Struble. Just didn't quite connect it. Didn't get as much power as she wanted on that shot. It was a good pass from Delgado. I mean, that's a fantastic ball, and probably her weaker left foot, but Vukas did well to go down to her left there to make the save.
Bowling Green back up through the middle. Here's Dean once again. Pass into the box. Offside, the call as the flag of the AR goes up. And how about that? I mean, up front for Bowling Green right now, you have Maya Dean and Bryn Gardner. Dean scored twice in the Central Michigan match, and then Gardner scoring twice, both goals in that match against Ball State.
Yeah, I really like this look of Maya Dean up top as kind of a center forward, kind of a false nine. It gives her the freedom to kind of roam pretty much anywhere around that front line. And she's roamed out wide left, like you're seeing right here a couple of times. She can track back into the midfield as a false nine more than just a normal striker. And I think it really fits her, and it's been really comfortable. And, you know, she didn't have quite the stats probably that she wanted to start the year. Didn't get her first couple goals against Central Michigan. But, I mean, this new position for her has been great, and hopefully it can continue into the postseason.
Emily Gardner steps up there. This one way in the air. Under it was Katie Cox. Able to get it to Serwin. It's knocked back away by Zipsy. Ortman steps in a passing lane there. Back around the defender. Outside to Bryn Gardner. In the middle, Serwin has it once again. Ortman now forward. Looking for Poole. Poole into the box. And McGill able to get it, no pressure, as that was too far out in front for any of the other forwards to get there for Bowling Green. Sent forward for the Huskies. Green there to defend, kept it in play as well. Poole lets it roll by, now battling for it, and a whistle for the foul. And the foul was called on Poole against Abby Adams.
I haven't called Ellie Poole's name as much in this first half. Like we mentioned, one of the players for Bowling Green to watch.
And there is the Bowling Green coaching staff in the back of the shot. Over the head of Emily Gardner, but she got it back. Her teammates were there to back her up. Poole puts it back on the ground, taken away by Northern Illinois. Again, it's McHugh. There's Katie Cox now. Maya Dean was right there, but Northern Illinois able to keep it away from her. Leah Grunigal back to Delgado.
Really good pressure there from Serwin Brandon. Almost able to earn a throw in there. I've been really impressed with Delgado for NIU. She's really shifty in the midfield. She's created pretty much all the attacking chances for the Huskies so far.
Throw in for the Huskies. Back to the middle of the field, played forward. King trying to make a run to it. Green got there first. Ortman back to Emily Gardner. An effort to move up the right flank there, thwarted. Now through the middle, Northern Illinois looking back to King in the box, one-on-one with Vukas off the post. It comes back out, and Ortman sends it away.
And that was a really good opportunity for the Huskies, but a really good shot selection for King there. Took with her left foot, tried to get Vukas there on her near post, and Falcons lucky there to not be down 1-0.
I saw one of those near side left-footed shots last night in high school soccer. Maumee Valley beating Ottawa Hills in a district semifinal just north of here in the Toledo area. Bryn Gardner racing back to the ball alongside Grunigal. Runagle won that race. Allows Northern Illinois to keep possession. They swing out to the right side this time. Poole coming back to defend. Adams kept it away. Now into the middle. Here's Zipsy. Looking outside. Redirected back toward the middle of the box. And Vukas takes a two-step backwards before she pulls it down out of the air.
And we're going to take a look here on this opportunity for the Huskies. McHugh, good ball, and Green committed there with the slide tackle and off the inside of the post from King. That was a really good shot. You know what they say, Brandon, a goalkeeper's best friend is the post.
You'll take them how you can get them, that's
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
We could technically like be co-champs if we tied, but we wouldn't be the one seed.
Dean. And a foul called on Northern Illinois. And this has been one of the strong points, this area, maybe a little bit closer, from Emily Gardner over the past number of weeks with Isabel Gilmore sidelined.
Yeah, and she's been stepping up, taking these free kicks, and she got a couple assists against that 5-1 win over Central Michigan and assisted both of Maya Dean's goals.
So here is Gardner. Hovers in the air. The wind gets to it, still loose. A non-goalie save there.
Yeah, and I think the wind got to that, but I don't think McGill got all that clean. I think that was slipping through her gloves, and Falcons weren't able to knock that one in the open net.
And here's another look at it. You're going to see it go right in the middle here. McGill comes out, got just fingertips to it, and then was able to count on one of her teammates to get it away.
I think the presence of Maya Dean as well kind of threw her off there. She didn't really get full hands of that ball, and unfortunately Falcons were able to knock that one home, but past couple 15 minutes or so, they've created a lot of good goal scoring opportunities.
Frigerio gives it to Emily Gardner as Jimmy Walker barks out instructions. Gardner, the free kick. Into the box once again. Northern Illinois got the first touch, courtesy of Aubrey Robertson. Franson to throw. Back to Ortman. Ortman looking into the box. McGill punches it away. Dean follows it up. Another defender steps up for Northern Illinois. And I'm pretty sure that was Leah Grunegal. And indeed it was.
I mean, Grunegal's got the most goal contributions this year, 2 goals, 2 assists, and she's helping out on the defensive end as well, clearing that one away. And it's probably the third really good opportunity for the Falcons have had to open up the scoring. And
Foul going to be called against Mackenzie Ortman as there was some contact with Zipsy.
And I think you're kind of seeing how the Huskies have had 8 shutouts on the season, and 5 of which have came in MAC play. So this game might just come down to 1 goal, considering how good both defenses are between these two teams.
Northern Illinois setting up for a free kick of their own here. The wind is at a point to their back. It kind of swirls here at Cochrane Stadium, but they do have it with them right now. Robertson sends a low liner into the box. Green was able to get in the way. Outside, Poole gets there first. And that'll force Northern Illinois to try to throw once again.
A couple of other scores around the MAC. Miami up 1-0 over Eastern Michigan early in the first half, and Ball State up 1-0 over Central. Just a couple other games to keep an eye on if you are a Falcons fan.
Ball forward. Out of play, last touch by NIU. Bowling Green will get the throw. We're likely reaching the point in the match where we will see some substitutions start to be made into this game by both sides. And a handball called on Bowling Green. I believe that was Poole.
And I think since you brought up the fact of this is pretty much about the time where you get to see some substitutions, especially when Jimmy Walker likes to make them. Lacey Bethea has been a great option off the bench, scored 2 goals off the bench against Central, using her speed. She's always dangerous off the bench as well. A couple of other freshmen, Lizzie Boltnick, Emma Stransky, are also not a couple bad options to bring on if the Falcons want to get this opening goal.
Ball out of play there off Emily Gardner. And another foul going to be called against Poole. And here's another look.
A little bit of a sloppy foul there for the Falcons, and now a really good set piece opportunity here for the Huskies in a really dangerous area.
So here it comes toward goal. Vukas able to get in front of it off of one hop. And meanwhile, at the same time as Northern Illinois was setting up for that set piece, Western Michigan scores in Kalamazoo to make it a 1-1 contest with Toledo.
Which is still fine for the Falcons as long as they come away with a victory. They would still finish first, but still currently locked at zeros.
Bowling Green looking for a goal. Dean tried to rifle one through to Bryn Gardner. Katie Cox now goes back to Maya Dean. Cox goes down in the box. Good clean takeaway there from Grunegol. Forced out by Frigerio.
Yeah, good step there from Frigerio, and they're really looking to try to get Delgado here on this left wing to cut inside and try to switch the play to Tyra King.
Ball in play. And King's going to be called for a foul. The official going to have a discussion right there.
And that's going to be a battle all afternoon, King and Gardner.
Right in the middle of your screen there. So Gardner going to set it up once again. And a foul going to be called on Bowling Green. Or are they going to bring this back to Emily Gardner? And that's what they'll do.
Looks like Serwin and King a little bit tussled up there. King was on the floor.
Gardner into the box. Dean to Katie Cox. Too much traffic there. Cox gives it out to Franson. Back in the direction of Poole. King able to get a touch on it. Sending it out of play.
And I think Katie just turned the corner there for Bowling Green, and she did.
And indeed, Katie Cox battles and gets Bowling Green their first corner of the day.
Set pieces have been something the Falcons had a lot of success for in the past couple of games, and we'll see what Ellie Poole can do here. It'll be an in-swinger.
Northern 12 for 22 and Northern 26 for 30.
Poole into the box, backside, Dean to it, still loose. It comes out to the top of the 18. Cox tries to play it back in, but it goes high of goal.
That was a good opportunity for the Falcons. Dean got the head on that, but they have 3 players from the Huskies on the line.
Dean tried to put it back post, and indeed it was another non-goalie save. That time it was Abby Zipsey.
And Katie Cox there on top of the box just couldn't put that shot on goal. Was trying to strike it with the volley.
Kira Meyer coming in for Northern Illinois. Over off the far side, ball back in the middle. Gardner plays it through midfield.
Got BG substitution, 11 for 9.
Younger sister Bryn back to Frigerio.
Thank you, sir.
Fresh legs here in Meyer. Over to King in the middle of the field. King working downfield, gets rid of the pass. Back to Zipsy it comes. Inside the center circle, now out to King. The Huskies trying to build up.
Thank you, sir.
On the outside, Green knocks it away. Another throw-in coming for NIU. And out off of the Huskies, Bowling Green now will throw in. And they'll get to make some changes as well as Lacey Bethay and Christina Erdman come in for Bryn Gardner and Jaden Frigerio.
Erdman did start the game against Ball State on Sunday, and nice to see Lacey Bethay off the bench. Has always been kind of the 12th man for the Falcons this year.
Some contact there in the middle, and we will get a stoppage and a card going to be delivered. And that will go against Isabel Struble.
24 for...
And there you see some coaching off the bench.
It's a big game. I mean, this is opportunity to win your conference regular season, and Jimmy Walker's always animated as he is on the sideline, and this is a big game, and he's showing that urgency from the bench.
So Emily Gardner going to get a free kick here. Short to Taylor Green. Green has it knocked away by Struble. Ortman, and out of play. Over right in front of the Bowling Green side. Ortman goes to the ground, and there was a kick, and that's going to be a card.
Yep, late kick out, that's always going to be a card.
And that's a red card.
Oh,
and now Northern Illinois is going to have to play down a body for the rest of the game. And that was Madison Luby, who had just come into the game minutes ago.
I mean, that's just not smart. I mean, just coming into the game, I know emotions are high. Not smart. Now she's put the team in a really bad position with that foul. And now the Huskies have to play down 10 men now the rest of the game. And it's really just not a smart decision.
And that should open some things up for Bowling Green offensively.
Luby is just a sophomore, so she will learn as she's older, but just would like to see what happened there again. It was a late kick out on Luby. Actually, Luby, late kick out there on a Falcons player.
Well, that is also a thing.
And so a free kick here, and you're going to see it right here. And right there is what they called right to the rib cage of Mackenzie Ortman.
I mean, that's a...
Over the head of Vukas and out of play, goal kick.
I mean, especially just seeing that replay again, that's a red card any game, any day, any level of soccer. I mean, just can't do that.
And there is Luby departing.
Yeah, she can't stay. She has to go back to the
So here's Bowling Green now, a man advantage. You don't see it a whole lot in soccer. Maya Dean with it, working up the outside. Now it's Bethay.
Oh, good ball.
Middle, Serwin gets the head to it, but out of play.
That's a fantastic cross from Bethay. Found Serwin right there in the middle, just couldn't steer that header on target. Taking another look at it. Bethay just squaring up on Adams and delivering a great ball.
And on the backside of that, Ellie Poole might have been in a good position as well had it got by Serwin.
Be interesting to see what NIU does formation-wise now down 10. It usually means you just play down a forward, and kind of looks like that's what they're doing here.
Serwin back to Ortman. Now here's Dean. And Lucas, how much does that change your strategy to go down a player like that?
It changes a lot, especially when it's in the first half. I mean, there's a lot of game left to be played. There's about 67 minutes left to be played, and especially you're on the road against a good team in Bowling Green, and it changes a lot. And especially in a game of this magnitude that's this big, and it's probably one of the worst things you can do as a player to put your team in. And it looks like what NIU is doing is kind of moving to a 4-3-2 and just having King up top along with number 26, Kira Meyer.
Bethay comes back to take the ball away. Bowling Green has it back. But basically what you're saying, and you mentioned the 4-3-2 formation swap, is it's not like Bowling Green has to attack against one less player.
Yeah, exactly, because NIU is going to make tactical changes to make it seem like it's not so obvious that they're down a player. They're going to probably play even more defensive as what they've been playing the past 15, 20 minutes or so. They're going to be more congested in the middle. You look right now, the 4 midfielders and 3 defenders are all in their defensive half.
Poole unable to keep it in.
So defensively for NIU, nothing's probably going to change much, but when they attack, they're not going to have as many numbers in the attacking third now.
Grunegel into King. Ortman going to be called for the foul.
I tell you what, Tower King just needs half a yard, and she can put something on goal. I mean, we've seen this game. Could have had one.
So it's Robertson here.
Thank you.
Robertson into the box, right in the middle. Serwin underneath of it. Put back. And a shot from Zipsy goes wide.
And pretty much now, offensively for NIU, take a look at this replay. Any chances that are going to be on goal are probably going to be from set piece opportunities. Zipsy just couldn't connect that one on frame.
So Vukas sends everybody forward. Falcons will go long as we approach 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Off the head of Franson. Serwin to it with some space. Back to Franson. Out into some empty space. It's going to be taken away by Meyer. The Falcons get it right back. Serwin up the far side to Bethay. Back to Serwin. Lofted forward in the direction of Mayadeen. Robertson was there. There's Robertson sending it back forward in the direction of King. And now Bowling Green going to make some changes as Emma Stransky and Lizzie Boltnick come into the game.
Well, Brand, don't mean to brag, but I'm 3 for 3 on substitutions so far as first half. But no, seriously, Boltnick and Stransky have been probably 2 most impressive attacking freshmen this year. They both have played good minutes, both have scored a couple goals this year as well, and I see them to give Maya Dean, Brent Gardner, and the rest of the VG attackers a little bit of a breather.
Thank you.
Stransky with 2 goals on the season. Boltnick has 1 as well. Boltnick scored the first goal of the season for the Falcons, while Stransky scored the winner against Akron. Middle of the field, Zipsy tries to play it back forward to Meyer. And it was out of play. And here comes Emmy Butera for Katie Cox.
Katie Cox.
So when we talked about Bowling Green's utilization of the freshman class so far this year, 6 of them out there on the field right now in the last game of the regular season. Off of King. It's a throw for Erdman. Looking up to Stransky. Knocked away by Zipsy. And a foul against Stransky. Official was trying to play advantage there.
14 for 20. Thank you, sir.
That's why he didn't see the whistle until Bowling Green was able to get the next contact. Free kick sent forward. Off of Ortman.
Thank you.
Back up to Stransky. Stransky trying to get to the outside of White. Ortman forward. Put back in the air by Grunegel. Serwin knocks it away from King. Franson. Out to Bethay. Bethay building toward the box. Knocked away. It comes back out. Ortman. Butera. Out to Franson. And Bowling Green will circle back around with Green and Emily Gardner. Emily Gardner forward. Stransky makes a late run on it. White was going to let it carry to the keeper. And Emma Stransky kind of popped out of nowhere, but McGill able to get the hands on it.
Yeah, that's good defensive play there from White, just letting that ball roll to her keeper. But good press there from Stransky.
Out of the air, Erdman. In the middle, King. Serwin, back to Butera. Outside, Boltnick. Northern Illinois going to make a couple of changes. Reagan King Pavong coming in there. Will replace Tara King up top. And now back to play, 5:30. Serwin.
I guess the clock was running the whole time, so never mind.
Taylor Green. Bethay on the outside once again.
It's a great cut from Bethay.
Bethay, the shot. Over the top, Stransky gets the goal. Bowling Green takes the lead. And Emma Stransky always one for the celebration.
And the two substitutions, Brandon combining, but give credit to Lacey Bethay there, getting to the touchline, dribbling all the way to the left wing, cutting inside. I want to say she took a shot on goal there, but Stransky did well there to head that one in.
And there's the shot over the top, and Stransky got the crown of the head to it, just like you're supposed to.
I mean, give credit to Stransky finishing off that play. They head that one off. McGill is coming off her line. And the freshman has given Falcons the go-ahead goal. And who knows what might happen, because right now, if the scorelines all remain, Brandon, the Falcons win the MAC regular season.
A lot of game left in both games. 4:50 here, 3:50 in Kalamazoo. And that's just the first half, 45 minutes in both games after that. But for Bowling Green, certainly relieving to get the first. Stransky called for the foul. As Zipsy went down.
Take a look at it again, and Stransky just a little bit too much shoulder to shoulder there.
So here's Robertson. And this one into the box. Ortman to it. Butera. Boltnick coming back on the ball. Going to redirect back to Erdman. And we had just talked about the dynamics of Stransky and Boltnick, and then Stransky comes out and gets number 3 on the year.
And that was the other substitution, Buffet combining on that goal.
Butera downfield. Serwin out to Franson. Here's Bethea. Forward to Butera. A lot of space for Emmy Butera. Rifled across. Still in play. Stransky going to get an opportunity to run it down. Around a 2-on-1. Back in. A corner coming for Bowling Green as it goes out off of White.
Stransky's been great coming in this game, getting the goal, putting the Falcons ahead now right in our corner.
So Butera over to the corner.
Corner kick, Bowling Green.
So Butera left foot in swing.
Ooh.
Serwin got to it first, and then it was off the back of the head of one of the NIU players. And the official going to stop play immediately. And you see that now at both the college and the high school level, head injuries, immediate stoppage.
Yep, Serwin got the head on that one and just ricocheted right off. The ball save player looks like she's going to need to check out momentarily. I believe that's Sarah Roy for NIU. Pardon me.
Madison Frazier comes on for Abby McHugh.
Yeah, pardon me. Saw 32 by McHugh, thought it was her.
So McGill going to get an opportunity here to put it back across midfield, and does. The booming kicks we have seen from McGill today. That one's still going. Nobody's touched it yet, and finally Green will just knock it out of play. Buffet comes to the ball. That one sent into the fence. Franson to it for Bowling Green. The Falcons will try to work up quickly. Robertson not going to allow that. Out of play for a Huskies throw. Ball goes over the end line. Last touch by Northern Illinois. It'll be a goal kick for Vukas with 1:35 left. Vukas off the head of Serwin. And it went right over the top of athletic trainer Luke Bachbrader, who's stretching out Lily Berg, who we'll likely see in the second half.
All season, Walker has elected to go with those goalkeeper switches midway through the game, and would assume nothing would change her last game of the regular season.
Erdman on the outside. Sends it out of play, down to 40 seconds left in the first half. Ball goes back out of play, a throw in for the Falcons. Ortman sends it upfield for Bowling Green. Stransky. It's going to be run down there by Briggs. The ball will roll out of play, and that's how the first half is going to come to a close. 45 minutes remaining. Bowling Green has the lead over NIU right now at home at Cochrane Stadium. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly for half number 2. The second half is almost underway here at Cochrane Stadium. The stakes are high on the last day of the Mid-American Conference regular season. Brandon Lowe, Lucas Kleinmeyer back with you here. And Lucas, it's been an interesting first half here at Cochrane Stadium.
Yep, for Bowling Green, Emma Stransky getting that goal towards the end of the first half to put them up 1-0. A couple of substitutions combining on that, Lacey Bethay and Stransky. And obviously, a lot of different games going on at once, a lot of different implications that has to happen in order for Bowling Green to win the MAC. But right now, if everything stays the same, you're looking at your 2023 MAC regular season champions.
A lot of time left, 41:50 over in Kalamazoo, 45 minutes still to go here in Bowling Green. But as we said, the stakes are high, and right now the stars are aligning. But still plenty of time left for a shift.
Like we said, resuming second half play is Western Michigan and Toledo. They're both tied at 1 apiece. That is the game that we are closely keeping an eye on, and we'll update throughout the rest of the game. They're currently a couple minutes ahead of us, so we will know before this match finished what Bowling Green's fate is.
So we are underway here in the second half. It'll be a Bowling Green throw. Riley Clark. Clark starting the second half. It'll be her first minutes of the game. Forward to Bethay, back to Clark. Now Taylor Green finds Emily Gardner. Frigerio lofts one forward, looking towards the forward line. Poole and Gardner were both close, but the defenders will protect and let it carry out. For Northern Illinois, Sadie McGill remains in goal for the Huskies, which is not uncommon. And for Bowling Green, they did make the change that we expected, going with Lily Berg in the second half. Got a chance to talk to Lily Berg about that earlier this week in Corner to Corner. Maya Dean with it, trying to play forward. Cox settles back to Frigerio. They're going to go around this back line. Emily Gardner. Now Clark and Green in on the passing.
Looks like Maya Dean's kind of dropping back into the midfield to start this second half. Front three for Bowling Green is Bethay, Poole, and Gardner. It looks like Gardner is playing in the middle.
That's center back tandem of Green and Gardner. Still controlling right now. Green finally sends it forward. Makes its way up to Lexi Serwin. Now Lacey Bethay. Going to try to cut back toward the middle. Had some contest there. Bethay still on the ball. Working deeper into the box across backside. Poole is there. Tries to bend the shot back in. Can't do it. Still in the box. And now finally it's going to be played out.
That's a really good opportunity for the Falcons, and they've really got to get a second goal to have a good cushion for this game.
The Falcons are playing up one player due to a red card to NIU in the first half. McGill brings the ball back into the field of play. We've seen them go short. They'll do it again. Up around midfield, Katie Cox finds it with a head. Serwin in empty space. Now it's Emily Gardner. Over to Poole in front of the Bowling Green bench. Maya Dean outside to Frigerio. Gives it back to Emily Gardner. Gardner back to Berg. Back outside, Emily Gardner again. McHugh coming up through the middle. Gets it off to King. Ball still outside. Skied back into the middle of the box. Clark comes to it. Northern Illinois going to get back to the ball first.
Really nice there from Riley Clark not to overcommit on that defensive play. A good clearance there from Maya Dean.
That one carries out of play. Bowling Green will have a throw. Frigerio looks downfield in the direction of Emily Gardner. Frigerio back forward, middle of the field. Katie Cox the head to the ball. Gardner trying to make the run and out of play, just wide on the short side of goal.
Yeah, good defensive there from Sophia White. Just to cut off Brent Gardner's angle there.
And White's done a really nice job sealing up that outside really all game.
Yeah, she's had a couple really good defensive play, especially in the first half on Gardner. That's kind of stifled her, especially what Gardner is best at, which is kind of running and getting into the box with her pace and putting shots on goal.
So set to send it away, Aubrey Robertson. Serwin there, big collision at midfield. Cox and Serwin end up on the ground. Maya Dean still battling for the ball. Bethay comes back to it as it comes out of the pile. Knocked away by McHugh. Both teams still after it, trying to get possession. Maya Dean looked back to Bethay off the right foot of McHugh. It goes out of play. Clark and Green back and forth. Clark up the side. Bethay trying to get around the defender, use some of that footwork and speed. Out off of Bethay. Got Lacey Bethay on the ricochet. Off Robertson. So a throw in here for the Huskies. Katie Cox was after it. Zipsy got there first. Green gives to Gardner. Lacey Bethay gets some space, quickly cut off by McHugh. King looking outside. Nice pass here for the Huskies. Abby Adams trying to get around Riley Clark. Good pass into the center of the box. Green able to knock it away. Now Frigerio on the outside. King slow to get up. Bowling Green still moving forward. And now we will get a whistle.
Yeah, King stayed down there. Not surprised. Referee blows for stoppage.
And so they will bring the ball back this way. Athletic training staff for Northern Illinois taking a look at Tyra King. Meanwhile, Western Michigan has taken an early second half lead over Toledo. 33.5 minutes left to go in Kalamazoo. And still a lot of time in both contests. And King back to her feet and going to stay in the game. But going to have to come off. Wanted to stay in.
Thank you.
But they'll bring on Sahara Zingano.
And King's been really good for NIU this game, and unfortunately got the exit here momentarily, but hopefully she's all right to continue for the rest of the game.
Been such a big part of the Northern Illinois identity today.
And she leads the Huskies in goals this year at 3, and they don't really have a main goal scorer on this team. They've had 11 different players this year get on the score sheet.
Here's a throw in for Frigerio. Ball travels back out of play. Frigerio will have to throw once again. Up through the middle. McHugh going to work. Looks to pass in the direction of Adams. Finds Adams trying to get around Clark now. McHugh and Adams back and forth. Try it one more time. Clark able to get in the way this time. Middle of the field, sent forward by Tompkins. Green looking outside to Bethea, just too short for Bethea to get back to keep it inside the lines. Throwing goes to McHugh. Makes a couple of moves trying to get around Serwin, but lost the touch out of play.
It hasn't been a bad start for NIU to start this second half. Been pretty much a midfield battle. First 10 minutes or so. A couple good looks early on. Huskies nothing on goal, really from either sides so far in the second half.
NIU into the box, cut off by Green. They wanted to feed that one through to Struble, and they almost got it there. Husky still working with it. Out of play off of Frigerio. The Huskies trying to work into the box. Off of Gardner. Ball rifles out of play once again. It'll be another throw. Katie Cox gets the takeaway. Looking forward to Gardner. White cut the pass off once again. It bounces to Bethea. Bethea tangled up with Robertson. Robertson had the advantage. The Huskies moving back toward the box. Abby Adams kept away by Dean. Bethea on the outside.
Ooh. I think Bethea kind of just got caught there from Robertson.
Right in the area of the shin for Bethea. Clark tries to throw over the top. Put into the air, comes back to a more central location of the pitch. And a foul going to be called there as down went Struble.
I think any dead ball situations for the Huskies brand, they're going to try to make into an attacking opportunity like so here.
Low line drive into the box. Carries out of play. Goal kick for Berg. Bowling Green is going to make a change. Ortman coming back on. Coming in for Lexi Serwin.
I had written down the first sub of the half was 20 for 20, and I just typed in 20.
For Jerrio, back to Emily Gardner.
Oh yeah, 22. But like early on, like maybe it was 22, but like one of the first ones I like took out 21. I clearly had the others. Like I checked.
Bryn Gardner back to the ball.
I wrote it down right. I just typed it wrong. Can't wait till tomorrow.
Really good possession here in the second half from Northern Illinois. Kind of what you alluded to.
Yep. And for a team being down a player, that's usually quite opposite of what you see usually. Usually, team up a man has all the possession and
Foul against Bryn Gardner. Northern Illinois moving closer. It'll be Aubrey Robertson again. Low on the ground, through to Berg, who makes a diving save.
great save from Lily Berg. That's difficult on the ground. A couple of dummies from NIU. I think that was probably planned, probably in practice, but great save from Berg through all those bodies, able to not be able to spill the rebound.
So Berg, the big boot, over the top of the head of pool. Out it comes near midfield. Dean takes it away. Maya Dean outside for Bethea. Bethea, right foot, back into the middle, White in front of it. That allowed Northern Illinois to push it back out of the box. Ortman trying to swing it back in, over the top of pool once again. Mackenzie Ortman going to get back to the ball first for a second time. Out to Bryn Gardner. Gardner across, backside, all the way through. Riley Clark now in the box, tries to put it back into the middle with the left foot. Clark again on the ground. Here's Dean finding Clark, and it just passed the feet of Riley Clark.
Really good give and go there from Clark and Dean. If they were just able to connect on that one, Clark could have put that one away for a 2-0 lead.
Thank you. NIU 5 for 20.
Northern Illinois brings Tyra King back on. Good to see her return for the Huskies. Got a little banged up earlier on the far side, right in front of her team's bench. She had to check out, come off the pitch, but good to see her back in. Dean with the ball on the outside. Touch to Bethea. Dean once again. Elusiveness there from McHugh. Back through. King trying to get around Ortman. King, a shoulder. Into the feet of Gardner. Gardner takes it back. Dean. Gardner. And it goes out of play.
A little bit of shoulder-to-shoulder action there between Ortman and King. Take a long replay look at it. Her and Ortman just battling in.
Right there.
I mean, I could see it being called and see it not being called. I think it's just up to the referees.
An onslaught of horns from the parking lot here at Cochrane Stadium. Looks like they've got that situation figured out as Northern Illinois puts the ball back in the middle of the field for Zipsy. Sahara Zingano moving up to the middle. Lots of Bowling Green players in the area. They go outside. Abby Adams. Back to Zingano. Left foot. Cox able to get in the way of it. Now Bethea going to have some room to go to work. Trying to move back toward the middle. Lost the touch. McHugh gets it back. Forward on the outside for Jerrio. Sends it out of play. So it'll be a throw in here for Northern Illinois.
BG 36 for 9.
Looks like Walker's getting ready to make a plethora of substitution for the Falcons.
Stransky and Boltnick, the first two.
17 for 11, 20. Jesus.
Erdman as well.
Oh my God. Okay. BG also.
Lexi White as well.
21 for 32, 38 for 10, 14 for 4.
And Franson.
Okay, I think I got it.
A boatload of freshmen
All freshmen.
for Bowling Green.
All freshmen. And with 26 minutes left, trying to protect this 1-0 lead.
So White, Boltnick, and Stransky at the top, with Franson and Erdman coming in as well.
If I can count, Brandon, there's currently 6 freshmen on the field right now for Bowling Green.
We had that once in the first half as well. Here's a throw in for the Huskies. Rolls out off the right foot of Ortman.
Like the subs just kept coming. But she like announced another one, and then another one came.
Foul going to be called there against Christine Erdman just outside the box. King was the one that was able to draw the foul. Now an opportunity here for Aubrey Robertson, who's been really tactical with the way that she's played these free kicks so far today.
It is a really good position. Just kind of think of it like a corner kick, but even closer.
Here we go, Robertson into the box. They were able to get ahead to it. It was Amara Tompkins, but it went out wide, the backside. Here, another look. There's Robertson, left side of your screen. Beautiful ball back across.
Yeah, great ball back across, and just Tompkins couldn't have steered that one on goal. The NIUs have probably the best opportunities in this second half. They've been knocking on the door for that equalizer. Bowling Green's got to be careful here. Intensity hasn't been the same in the second half as we've seen in the first half.
Berg plays it back out. First contact from Zingano. That allows NIU to close back in on Berg's position once again. King going to be called for the foul. And she and Ortman have been battling here in this second half.
Take a look at it again. That was Erdman.
Right there.
Yeah, her and Ortman have definitely had their battles this game.
So Gardner back. Across midfield. Last touched by Zipsy. Erdman forward. Boltnick comes back to it. King in there with Katie Cox, both battling, trying to get possession for their teams. Cox goes down quickly back to her feet. King lofts it forward. Got to find its way all the way back to Taylor Green. Green whistles one up through the middle. Back the other way from Tompkins. Stransky gets fouled.
Stransky does well. Puts herself in really good positions to earn these calls, and just a little push in the back there from Robertson.
So Emily Gardner moves forward. And this is that range where Gardner has played really well on these free kicks, right into the center of the box. Again, right into the middle, high, arcing, out of play, but it'll be a corner for Bowling Green.
They didn't quite see whose head that last touched off of the Huskies player, but good opportunity for the Falcons to get that second goal.
Maya Dean over to the corner.
In Bowling Green.
Here's Dean. Into the middle, backside. Boltnick got the right foot to it, but McGill was able to make the save on the line.
Yeah, good connection there from Boltnick. Good save by McGill. Stransky was right there, just in case she spilled the rebound.
Ball comes out, middle of the field. It's knocked away from Dean. Abby Adams back toward the middle of the field. Zingano up through the middle. Back outside, wanting to go to Adams. They connect backside towards King. And a foul on King as Erdman went down.
Don't know how many fouls King has left before she gets carded. It's been a couple there. Good ball there from Adams and just a little arm into the back of Erdman.
So Berg spins it forward. Just over 20 minutes left here on the last day of the regular season. Stransky outside. Boltnick trying to get that edge. Able to keep it in only momentarily. As now NIU will get a goal kick.
Entering the game for the Falcons, number 23, Lexi Serwin. For number 7, Maya Dean.
Lexi Serwin coming on for Maya Dean. Into the middle of the field. NIU wanted Zingano. Franson got it for Bowling Green. Now outside, Boltnick trying to get around the edge. It'll be a corner for the Falcons.
Just under 20 minutes left in the second half. Brandon, a second goal would do wonders for this Falcons team to give them a little bit of a cushion for remaining minutes. NIU's definitely been dangerous in this second half, had a couple good opportunities.
And this will be a different look with Katie Cox to the corner. And normally it's either Ellie Poole, Emmy Butera when she's in the game, and then Maya Dean. And now Katie Cox will take the corner for the Falcons. Right into the middle. It comes back out to Erdman. Keeps it on the ground. Back out again. Ortman finds Franson. Turn and fire there. Blocked in traffic. King finds a teammate. Northern Illinois will build out. And the ball will travel out across midfield, so Bowling Green will throw back in there. Green with the give to Franson. Stransky over the top. Nobody able to make that run. Ball back on the ground. Adams. Zingano tries to get it across. Erdman streaks in. Christine Erdman making a run to the outside. Trying to find Boltnick out off of White.
Thank you. Northern 27 for 20.
Quick throw for Bowling Green. Katie Cox.
And another.
And it will be a throw for Bowling Green down near that flag. Erdman to Serwin. An aerial attack to try to get it into the box. King clears it out. Zingano and Franson both right there. Franson steps into it. Stransky.
36.
Stransky trying to feed in the middle there. Her teammate Lexi White. There's Serwin, backside, just over the head of White. Boltnick back on the ground. McGill made a save with the feet. And Northern Illinois brought it back out. Erdman going to try to play it back in. Into the box it goes. Lexi White takes some contact from Zingano.
Man, White and Boltnick just almost connected there. Put that ball in the back of the net. And
just under 17 minutes left. Grunagel gets the throw. Here comes some subs for Northern Illinois. Michaela Rivera. And then Angelina Briggs, who we saw in the first half, comes back in as well. McGill comes out to it there, and we'll take the basket catch.
32 for 17, 11 for 21. Thank you.
Stransky. Back to Green. Erdman over to it.
Sorry, what was that last one? 30 for who?
30 for 22.
26 for 5, 30 for 22. Thank you.
Ellie Poole and Lacey Buffet coming back on for Bowling Green.
In the game for number 5, Tyler Kent. Also number 30, Edith Delgado. Now in the game for number 22, Sarah Zingano. Now in the game for the Falcons.
it was interesting to not see Delgado and Sooner for NIU. She was really good in that first. I think the red card really affected what the Huskies wanted to do offensively, and looks like taking out King and giving Delgado a shot up top.
Erdman will have a throw here. Whistle there. They'll go back and do that throw again. Downfield to Gardner. Emily Gardner up through the middle. Northern Illinois gets there first. Delgado gives outside. Rivera. Pushed out by Franson. Out off of Green. Throw-in goes to Delgado once again. Sandwiched there between Serwin and Franson. Still over the top of the ball. Finally, it comes back out. Franson into Delgado, and that one skied out of play. Off the foot of Franson, out of play. Ball on the ground. Delgado working it around. Northern Illinois still trying to keep the pressure on here. And it goes out of play. Finally, goal kick for Lily Berg. Middle of the field, ball bounding around. The Huskies back forward. Out of play in front of the Bowling Green bench. They will signal a throw for Northern Illinois. Middle of the field. It's Robertson there. On the ground, White has it. To Robertson. Now across midfield. Huskies trying to work up the right side. Back into the middle, Rivera. Off of Wortman, out of play. Here's Rivera once again. Now Bethea. Tripped up. Foul going to go against Robertson as Bethea goes to the ground. Lacey Bethea's taken a couple of hard contact.
Definitely got to say, Bethea's been really good this second half, using her speed, getting into good situations. And Robertson, probably the second or third foul she's had on Bethea this afternoon. And Falcons are going to once again use this foul for another set piece opportunity.
So Emily Gardner. This Bowling Green leads still 1-0 here in this one. 10 minutes to play before it's off to postseason play. Backside, Poole tries to run it down. Just a hair long. The ball will go to McGill. Robertson sends it forward. And a foul going to be called there on Katie Cox.
Some of the Falcon faithful not happy with that call. Take a look at it again. Robertson has been taking the goal kicks this second half and just go pushing the back there from Cox. Still 9 minutes left. Still only a 1-goal game. Plenty left to be played here, Brandon. A lot can happen.
Robertson forward. Serwin was underneath of it. And Bowling Green has gone really defensive here late in the second half. I mean, when you look out there on the field, Emma Stransky is the only one pressed up forward for the Falcons.
Which makes sense. You're under 10 minutes to go in the second half. I mean, not surprised Jimmy Walker decided to go defensive towards the end of the second. And it looks like Katie Cox might get carded here.
And indeed, the yellow card to Katie Cox. So Robertson will get another free kick. Robertson trying to draw her team back even. Remember, if Northern Illinois loses this game, they're at risk of falling out of hosting a game in the quarterfinal round. It one-hops into the awaiting hands of Lily Berg. Ball out of play. Robertson trots over for a throw. And now Bowling Green will throw in, but not before Maya Dean and Bryn Gardner come back in.
Gardner for number 36, Emma Stransky, and number 7, Maya Dean. In the game for number 8, Katie Fox.
And that could be the last we see of Katie Cox here at Cochrane Stadium in her final season as a Falcon. 7 minutes and 25 seconds to go.
Good ball.
Into the box. McGill couldn't handle it. It'll be a corner for the Falcons.
Yeah, the wind definitely played a factor in that one. McGill just coughing that one up. And to go back to what you're saying about Katie Cox getting subbed out. Right now, Western Michigan's up 3-1 over Toledo. And all things considered, doesn't matter. The result of this game means Western Michigan will probably win the MAC. And Bowling Green will have to go to Kalamazoo for the tournament.
And how about the season Western Michigan's having for their fall sports? I mean, they're leading the conference standings right now for women's soccer. Men's soccer's got a shot as well in volleyball out in front. Bethea tries it over the top. McGill able to knock it over the top of the crossbar. Flick the wrists of that like a setter.
Yep, nice there from Bethea to bring that one down and able to get a shot here. Take a look at this replay off the chest and then kind of just lofted that one up, and McGill does well there. Just pop that one over the net.
Knuckled back down. That one would have gone in just under the crossbar had McGill not been there. So good save for the keeper. Across again, McGill bats it away. Franson out to Bethea. Bethea back into the box. Here's Dean. Dean let it roll over her back. Green in the way there. Serwin, ball still in the box. Comes just out. Green, the strike through, trying to connect with Poole, but McGill can't corral it. Offside going to be the call against Bowling Green anyhow. NIU now trying to go quick. Under 6 minutes to play. Off of Ortman. Zipsy. We'll throw again. Middle of the field, Ortman. Back forward, Maya Dean now. Cut off there. Job well done by McHugh. McHugh back to Zipsy. Middle of the field, it's Robertson. Northern Illinois trying to work forward on that far side. Erdman made it really difficult. Here's Gardner on a run.
I think she's onside.
All by her lonesome. And knocked to the ground. Foul going to be called on Sophia White.
Yeah, this is just really good, smart play from Gardner. Going to go to the corner, waste some time, and just a little sloppy foul there from Sophia White, but the Falcons are probably just going to play this one short and waste some time in the corner.
4 minutes left. Poole and Dean, little short pass there as Dean takes it to the corner. Another throw for Bowling Green. Huskies now trying to break out. Near side of the field now, Aubrey Robertson. Wanted to go back to the middle. Ortman was there. On the ground, Gardner trying to run down Amara Tompkins. McGill back out to Tompkins. Gardner going to go back the other way. In pursuit of the ball. Ortman to Franson. Franson on the ground to Bethea. Northern Illinois knocks it around. Again, it's Ortman. Under the leg of Bethea. There's McHugh.
It's a good press there from Gardner.
Robertson now charged with getting it away from Bowling Green. Zipsy goes to White on the outside. Dean trying to get it back off a deflection. Poole got to it. Forward for Maya Dean. Dean holding on to it. Now coming toward the middle of the field. Dean working into the box around a couple of defenders, and McGill finally slides into it.
That would have been probably one of the highlights of the season. Maya Dean soloed that, took that herself to just add the icing on the cake. Just 2 minutes left to go here. BG looking to hold on to this 1-0 lead, and NIU's going to send everyone up here.
McGill did not get the look she wanted to on the ball. Contact on the outside of the right foot leads it right out of play. Franson looking all the way up top to Gardner. Robertson was able to get there. Serwin. Now it's Erdman finding Dean. Middle of the field, and a handball going to be called against Angelina Briggs. And that was one of those clear, obvious ones that everybody sees.
There's not many conferences, Brandon, where you can lose only one game in conference play and not win your conference, but that just shows you how tight this Mid-American Conference was this season. Western Michigan's going to finish undefeated in conference play this year, and Bowling Green only going to have 1 loss on the year. That was that Kent State game a couple weeks back.
Gardner to the ground, Poole with it. Bowling Green trying to play keep away on the far side. Gardner en route to the corner. White takes it back away, 30 seconds. Off the head of Ortman. A throw in here for the Huskies. Down to 10 seconds left. Gardner just rifles it up the field, and that's going to do it. Bowling Green going to get a 1-0 result here today. And they're going to be regular season runner-ups in the Mid-American Conference. Western Michigan with a 3-1 lead over Toledo. They'll likely win it here in the next 90 seconds or so. But let's take a look at the conference standings before we head out today. Bowling Green does get the win. They'll take and secure second place. They'll have a first-round bye, but they know they're going to be headed to Kalamazoo. Northern Illinois, Ball State, and Kent State were the other three teams, that had qualified for the tournament coming in. So they knew coming into the day that they were going to be locked, but nothing guaranteed for Buffalo right now as they're playing in Kent State down 2-1.
With just about 20 seconds left, so that's probably it.
And Ohio with a win has the heads-up tiebreaker over Buffalo.
And right now they're up 3-0 over Akron.
So that final spot is going to go to either the Ohio Bobcats out of Athens or the UB Buffalo Bulls. So we will have to see who makes it in. Right now, as the way it looks on the scoreboard, it'll be Ohio. But Bowling Green gets a much-needed win today to end the regular season. They're going to go into conference play, tournament play, on the right foot. 3 wins in a row to end the season.
Yep, and they'll get a bye week going into the tournament, so they will not play on this coming Sunday, October 29th. So they'll have to wait and see who they face in the semifinal round of the Mid-American Conference tournament. But all in all, a fantastic regular season for this Falcons team. You really can't ask for much more. Only one loss in conference play, and now having 10 wins on the year. They had a really tough out-of-conference schedule to start the year, and a lot of people probably kind of sold their stock on this Falcons team, suffering 4 losses of out-of-conference play. But, you know, give credit to this Jimmy Walker squad. Really good year, missing out on a 5th MAC title in 6 seasons just by 1 point, and boy, oh boy, they're going to be ready for conference play.
A TBD line to be determined awaits Bowling Green in their next matchup. They'll have to wait and see what happens in the Mid-American Conference quarterfinals for the regular season. And for today, that will do it from my broadcast partner, Lucas Kleinmeyer, and our entire crew. I'm Brandon Lowe saying so long here from Cochrane Stadium as the Falcons beat the Huskies 1-0.